like a free flowing episode. I wanted to talk about something that's been on my mind for a little bit today, and that is how the art of conversation is just losing its value, it's being lost. There's so many excuses for this. I know we always talk about COVID and how the pandemic changed the way that we socialize, and there's all these excuses, but I genuinely just, it's something that's been bothering me for so long. I used to have this best friend in elementary school, and I remember we would both call our parents to give us permission to go out for lunch, and we would literally just buy like Arizonas and sour keys, and we would just walk around the park, and we would talk about our futures. We would talk about what car we would get. Mind you, we were like 12 at the time, but we would always just talk about life and just like what we were looking forward to, and our conversations were always so productive because even in venting or even in just like expressing anger, it was so hard to gossip about people because the conversation was rooted in true friendship and like genuinely wanting to know more and genuinely wanting to just have a conversation with somebody. And a feeling that I remember having in those moments is the feeling of just like we were like, it felt like we were in a different world. Like it felt like the minute we stepped out of school to go for this lunch break, it was just me and her, and we were the only people that existed, and we were able to talk about anything and everything without judgment, and we were able to correct each other as well. Like I remember she made some comments and I'm like, we probably shouldn't be making comments like that, and she's like, you know what, you're right. And it wasn't a thing about judgment or monitoring spirits or whatever type of terminology that we're using today to describe the littlest of interactions. We were just able to correct each other with love and have great conversations. And even in school, like I remember somebody would try to get your notes or somebody would need help on their homework or something, and they would come up to you and they'll be like, hey, and then they would use your name, or if they didn't know your name, they would ask you your name and they'll be like, how are you finding this class? Or like, is this hard for you? I don't really understand this. Do you understand it? Could you maybe help me understand it? And there's just a way in which people approached other people that just made things just so smooth and flow so effortlessly. And I'm in university now, and I was just thinking, I saw this reel, and this girl was like, when I try to make friends in class, but everybody's just so serious. And the example she gave is like her going up to somebody random in class and being like, hey, like, did you even do the reading? Or like, do you even understand what's going on in the class? And the other person responding like, yeah, the reading is online. Or, yeah, I understand the class. And everybody in the comments was like, this is so boring. People are so boring. People are so serious. People need to take a chill pill. And I actually disagreed with that video. I don't think, hey, did you even do the reading? Or do you even understand this class? I don't think that's a conversation starter. I don't think that's much basis for somebody to really breach off of. I don't think that's a good way to try to make a friend. Like, we have lost the art of having a good conversation. We don't know how to approach people anymore. And when we do approach people, we do so with entitlement of feeling like we should have access to people right away. We should know everything about people right away. The amount of people who've met me for the first time and automatically start asking me such nosy questions, and it's not like nosy in like general nosy questions, it's like invasive, super invasive personal questions. And I'm just like, have we lost all sense of social awareness and just being able to respect people? Like, that's one thing I remember about elementary school, is that we just had respect for each other, and we were young too, but we understood what to say and what not to say. We understood how to approach people. We understood how to talk to people. And I feel like if you're struggling with this, which I struggle with talking to people all the time because I'm more of an interpersonal person, so it takes me a lot of time to get to know somebody and really start to have those conversations with them. But I feel like we need to start reading books again, or we need to just start practicing talking to ourselves in the mirror, or just like having healthy debates and intellectual conversations. And I'm not even trying to be that person who's like, always trying to be serious or always trying to make things a big deal, but it's honestly gotten so bad. And just rewinding back to the video, the reason I don't agree with that is because when you're in university and when you're an adult and when you're paying bills and when you're paying to go to school, I am going to do the reading. I am going to be in a class that I understand, or I'm going to drop it. I am going to pay attention. So I feel like in high school, it was easy to be like, do you even understand what's going on? Da, 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 da. But when you're in university, like, you quite literally cannot afford to not understand what's going on. And I just feel like that is such a cheap way to get to know somebody. Like, what happened to like walking up to somebody and being like, hey, can I sit here? Is anybody sitting here? And they'd be, of course. And be like, oh, I'm this, by the way. Or what happened to seeing someone and being like, I love your hair today, I love your bracelet, where did you get it from? Oh yeah, you know what, my cousin used to work there. Do you like going to those type of shops? Are you into bracelet? Like, what happened to like genuine curiosity? I think the reason why we've lost the art of conversation is because we don't know how to be curious about people anymore. We're all so nosy instead of being curious. And there's a difference between curious questions and nosy questions. Let me try to think of an example. A curious question would be, let's say somebody's talking about how they have to go to work, right? Instead of a nosy question would be like, oh, where do you work? What street? What location? Da, 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 da. A curious question would be like, oh, do you like your job? How did you get into your job? Is this something you're just doing for the pastime, or are you looking for experience from this job? Like, that is genuine curiosity. That is genuinely wanting to get to know somebody and get to know about somebody. But these nosy questions of like trying to be invasive in other people's lives without genuinely getting to know them is why people are isolating, is why people are saying that they don't want friends anymore, is why people are giving you dry responses when you ask them a question, or when you're met with a dry response when you're being enthusiastic, is because people don't want to get to know you. And the amount of times I've been used for my notes, like when people figure out you're smart in school, a lot of people will take advantage of that. And the amount of time somebody's like came up to me, did you do the reading? I'm like, yeah, I did the reading. Because what am I going to do? Like, I'm not going to sit there and lie and be like, oh, I didn't do the reading just so that I'm relatable. Like, no. So I'm like, no, I did do the reading. Can you send me your notes, please? Like, I just didn't really understand it. Like, can you just send me your notes? And it goes from one time you send them your notes to them always asking you and asking you and asking you. And I always ask people at the end of these interactions, do you even know the name of this person? Like, think about it. All these transactions and interactions that we have, these low vibrational interactions that we have with people, at the end of it, could you tell me 3 fun facts about this person? If you can truly have a conversation with somebody, in 5 minutes, you can tell me 3 fun facts about that person. They don't have to be super deep. They don't have to be super personal, but in 5 minutes, you can tell me something about that person. But with these conversations that we tend to have with people, it's just nosy. Like, it's just gossip, or it's just nosy. And it's like, I have shared notes with this girl for like probably 4 months straight, and at the end of it, she didn't know my name. Like, when the teacher was like, oh, like, is this person here today, the one that you sit beside? Because she literally sat beside me every single day. And she goes, wait, who is that? And the teacher's like, the girl that you sit beside. And she's like, oh yeah, like I saw her in class, but I don't think she's here today. And I'm just like, and someone told me about that interaction, and I'm just like, ma'am, I've been giving you my notes for 4 months, and you don't even have the courtesy of knowing my name. Like, we've become so transactional and so self-centered that, like, we ask for community, but we don't know how to be community members. And I've been seeing so much discourse about this, of how people are saying, everybody wants a village, nobody wants to be a villager. And the truth is, in order to have these conversations and in order to have friends, like, you need to be inconvenienced. And I find that I'm always inconveniencing myself for other people, and nobody's ever returning that favor. And so it's not about transaction or constantly being able to get something out of somebody, but it's just like I can give you 95% of the conversations that I've had that are completely fruitless, that don't bear anything, that just are just such a waste of time. And I can give you that 5% where I have a conversation that I'm just like, I think I like this little life. Like, do you ever have those conversations where you're like, life is actually worth living? People are actually amazing. I actually love humans. I love human interaction. For some reason, sadly, these interactions are like the smallest interactions we'll have. We'll probably have this interaction maybe once in 4 months, and it's so sad that these interactions are so rare. But these fruitless interactions of talking to people about God knows what, those ones are so common. But when I have those conversations with people where, I'm just like talking to a random store manager or a store owner, and we're just having a great conversation in the 3 minutes that she's checking me out, like, I love conversations like that, because it reminds me that people are still able to have conversations. And don't get me wrong, like, I know depression exists, I know anxiety exists, because I tend to feel very anxious in social situations, but like, you have to challenge yourself to push past that barrier. Like, anxiety cannot be your story forever. Depression cannot be your story forever. Neurodivergence cannot be your story forever. And I know that these are certain things that you may be diagnosed with, or these are certain things that you may have lived with your whole entire life, but work with your struggles. Don't let your struggles become you. Work with it. If you're neurodivergent, learn more about this. Learn more about how neurodivergent people can have better conversations. Learn more about yourself. I feel like people they want to be told about themselves, or they want healing on a silver platter. Like, they don't want to do any of the work. They don't want to do anything that's uncomfortable. And it's so unfair for us people who are actually doing the work, who are actually daring to be uncomfortable. And so that was just, I don't know, something that I wanted to talk about. Usually I do a lot more faith-based videos on here, and how my faith has helped me navigate throughout life. But I also want to do these talks where I just talk about subjects that I'm just like, this is bothering me, and this is the reason why. It's me and God 24/7. It's me and Jesus Christ 24/7, because I literally, I've tried so hard to be that person, to talk to people, despite the fact that I'm introverted, despite the fact that I like to be alone. I force myself to do these uncomfortable things and meet people halfway, and people literally want you to go all the way. People want you to do all the work, and then they want to be the ones to benefit from it. And it's not working anymore. And we're becoming so individualistic as a society that it's just becoming worse and worse and worse and worse. School is the one place where you're supposed to have the most heightened socialization. Like, if you don't have a social life from anywhere else, school is the place you're supposed to do that from. And people don't even know how to do that here. People don't even know how to do that here. People are waiting for other people to approach them, and I'm not judging anyone. I am definitely that person. I'm like, if they don't approach me, I'm just not going to be approached. But then I had to get to a point with myself where I'm like, if they don't approach me, I lose out on this opportunity. If they don't approach me, I lose out on this networking. If they don't approach me, I lose out on a potential friend. It's not always about what's meant for me will come to me. Sometimes you have to go after what you want. You have to have those conversations. And I'm learning more and more that conversations and communication in general is so healthy. It's so important. It's so fun. It's so life-giving. And we need to learn the art of conversation again, and learn to just stop being in our head so much. And even if you are in your head, let fear exist. Let anxiety exist, and still go do that thing. Because the amount of regret that I've had for not being able to have these conversations, or for bugging out of them, is insane. I'd rather do something and it either is successful or it ends in embarrassment and I learn that lesson, then I'm regretting it, or I'm wondering how that conversation could have went. Because people are a lot less scary when you actually talk to them. Take it from me, who looks naturally intimidating, is what people say. I have so much love to give. I have so much love to give. I have so many conversations that I would love to have with people. I have so much to share. I have so much smiles and hugs to give. But when we're so closed off, and when we're waiting for everybody else to make that first step, it's just never going to happen. So today, let's do a challenge of the day. Let's do that. That's something random I'm going to make up right now. Let's do a challenge of the day. Today, I will do this too, by the way, because I have a presentation today in class, and I'm like, I'm going to challenge myself to be expressive and to be enthusiastic. That's what I'm going to do. So now I'm doing something. You're going to be my accountability partner, and I need you to challenge yourself to have either a vulnerable conversation today that you've been putting off with somebody who's made you feel a type of way. People are not going to know how they make you feel until you tell them that. We cannot sit here and assume people know what they're doing. Well, even though a lot of times people do, you need to be the one to have that conversation. So you're going to do one of three things, and you can choose. You're either going to have a vulnerable conversation with somebody, a conversation about a conflict, a conversation about a way that you've been feeling, a conversation about have I made you feel this way? You need to have that conversation. 2, you're going to go out of your way to start a conversation with somebody. You're going to go out of your way to compliment somebody. You're going to go out of your way to just have a conversation with somebody. It can last for 30 seconds. All you have to do is go out of your way to practice having a conversation with somebody. And let's see, the third thing we're going to do is I want you to... let's say you have a conversation today. I want you to expand the conversation. Let's say you're going grocery shopping and the cashier says, hi, how are you? You say, I'm great. How are you? How have you been doing? How's your shift going so far? They're not going to expect that, but they're going to continue. Oh, it's kind of slow today. Yeah, but you're doing a great job. I mean, your station looks great. I challenge you to expand the conversation that you're going to have. So somebody most likely is going to start a conversation with you. I challenge you to expand that conversation and to see where it goes. Like, and then the cashier might even just be like, we're doing this discount thing. I know you don't really have a stamp, but I'll just give you the discount. I'm telling you, when you can master the art of conversation, things work out in your favor. And when you're able to be that chosen one, that one person that's stepping out of the norm, the Bible talks about being set apart. When you're able to be that one person that's set apart and doing things that's irregular to the way that the world does things will work out in your favor. People are not expecting you to do this. People are not expecting you to take initiative. If no one else around you is taking initiative today, you need to do that. So I challenge you to do those 3 things. I thank you for listening. This is a different type of episode, but let me know what you think. I love hearing people's opinions. Please put in the comments below, like, what is your take on this? How do you feel about this? Do you think we're being too harsh? Do you think we're asking for too much? Do you think the art of conversation is really being lost? Let me know what you think, and tune in for another episode.